Who's scruffy looking?
What is up, my fellow nerds and gangsters? Welcome back to the Spiffy Nerd Herder channel. I am Danny, and today we're going to be doing a little review on Glass with some deep thoughts about it. So you better buckle up, baby. But first, what's going down in this movie? Well, the Beast, he's still on the loose, and he is still kidnapping and shanking people. Meanwhile, Harry Dunn has embraced his raincoat-wearing superhero alter identity and is searching for the Beast.
We would find him, we would arrest him.
All the while, some psychiatrist is trying to convince them both, along with Mr. Glass, that they are not superheroes and it's all in their head. Glass was a satisfying end to an unexpected trilogy. Unbreakable to me is still by far the best of the three, but if you liked Split, you'll definitely like Glass. Overall, it's the same tone, kind of that thriller-esque genre, but much different than Unbreakable was. Shyamalan, though, does build upon what's happened in both films, and so if you haven't seen them recently or at all, you should definitely watch them before going to see Glass.
It won't affect me either way.
Now that brings me up to my next point. Glass is an interesting conundrum that we simply don't see very often, where it's one movie trying to be a sequel to two separate films, rather than being the third installment of a traditional trilogy. It's got to catch us up with what's happening with the Beast from Split, but it also needs to catch us up what's happening with Harry Dunn from Unbreakable, because we didn't get any of that in Split. Overall, I thought Shyamalan did a good job with the very difficult task he was given by trying to do that.
I agree.
This film also shows us that there's much more going on in this world than had been previously revealed to us in the first two films, and you'll see what I mean when you see it. It's pretty sweet. The fighting in the film overall was okay. I felt that the Beast could have done more with his powers, Harry too, and there were a lot of POV shots during the fighting that just kind of took me out of the moment that I didn't quite care for. Sometimes the film does feel a little bit disjointed because there's a few different things going on, but Shyamalan does a fantastic job of tying up all the loose ends at the end and explaining everything so it all makes sense.
He will not let me down. He never has.
And like all Shyamalan films, he's a master of the camera, use of reflections, deciding what to show and what not to show, and there is a great double twist at the end.
I see dead people.
But my favorite thing about this movie is not what was in the movie, but its potential for spin-offs. We live in the world with comic book movies, which I love, but that must progressively get bigger and bigger disasters to raise the stakes and to be good, right? So what if, I think Shyamalan's saying, if the next big thing in superhero movies is not getting bigger, but actually getting smaller and more real to life? I think one of the coolest things about The Dark Knight is that it's the only superhero movie that you feel could really take place in the real world. Shyamalan has created this world in which superheroes can really exist. And they could be anybody, including us. We just may not know it.
What did you say?
And which one of us hasn't dreamt of being a superhero? I mean, I'm definitely not wearing Superman's costume underneath this.
Did you know that wasn't me?
But seriously, I've always wondered this. What if, say, Michael Jordan is not really the best basketball player that's ever lived? What if there's some dude in the jungles of Bolivia who actually had more raw talent and skill to play basketball like it was nobody's business, but simply never got the opportunity or was told he could never do it, and so that potential was never ever realized?
Whoa, dream big!
Shyamalan asked a similar question, but in the context of superheroes. What if there are truly superheroes among us, but never realize that potential because they never get the opportunity, or worse, because society and people around them tells them they can't do it because superheroes aren't real?
You have powers!
Would the world be a better place if we did have real-life superheroes? Because, well, we all know when they're superheroes, they're supervillains. I mean, that's what Mr. Glass kind of tries to do in the entire trilogy, to find somebody who's worthy of his opposition, and he finds Harry Dunn and Beast to kind of play in those roles.
I think this is where we shake hands.
Now, you can read messages into this film that we all need to be true to the potential that's within us, but I prefer to ask the question, are we like Mr. Glass? Do we think that there are people out there that have extraordinary abilities that simply don't know it, or that simply have never tapped into it before?
It has begun.
Let me know in the comments below. But either way, I think there's a massive potential here for a whole new brand or genre of superhero movies about superheroes who are just like us, who could even be us, and who are characters that we really, really care about. I think it's a fantastic idea, and Honestly, I would love to write and direct one of these movies because I think it'd be pretty cool. So, tweet Jason Blum, guys. I don't know, make it happen.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
So until next time, guys, see the movie, let me know what you think, and remember, stay spiffy, and don't do anything I wouldn't do twice.